Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. You're here with Diva. I hope you're all safe and healthy in this time. So today's pick a card reading is more a question or insight giving, or kind of like a possibility of what was happening to your person. Okay, so it's more like what was happening to them or inside them internally while they were interacting with you. Okay, so it's more like a situation where perhaps if you go in the past and you kind of recall the situation, you want to kind of get some insight about what was happening about the person, why were they special, or why did they impact you somehow. Okay, it could be that I was consciously doing it as I was not. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of like give you 6 kind of like possibilities of what was happening to them. It could be how they saw you, but this one, it's more like you have a question regarding a situation, something that happened. It was interaction, it impacted you a specific way. Now this one is more about what was happening to them during that interaction with you. So I was not in a good mood, I was in an ecstatic, beautiful mood, I was turned on. It could be many ways. Okay, I wanted to seduce you, or I did not want to seduce you, or I kind of did something that it's like you have a question mark in your headspace. Why did this person do this, or why did this reaction, or why did they behave this way? It could be that way too. Okay, so why did they behave this way? Why did they do that action? Why did it impact you that way, perhaps? But this is more about what was happening to them in that moment. Okay, I will be also creating another one, which is what was happening to you in that moment. So it could give you like perhaps a possibility. Now, if none of those possibilities that I will kind of give you, could be 6 other piles for the other video, as it could be 6 piles here. But we're just going to kind of like release certain things that might need to be released in the form of insight. Okay, so if I go too up in the air and you feel it's not grounded, then ground yourself overall. I wish to go centered, but then again, sometimes it's not on in my, we'll see. Okay, it's a full moon today, and it's very up and down, but I'm still drawn to doing this. Okay, so it's more like a question I have in my mind, and I'm seeking for some kind of like perhaps rational, or like a reason perhaps why it's that way, you know, that kind, why it impacted you that way. Okay, so how, just giving you consciousness, awareness about what was happening perhaps to your person while they were doing that. Okay, so you'll be the judge if it's something that could, you know, be useful to you or not. Okay, so 6 piles. You have pile 1, Fountain Tarot, pile 2, Night Sun, pile 3, Golden Universal, pile 4 is Osho Zen Tarot, pile 5 is Millennium Thoth, and pile 6 is Dancing in the Dark. Okay, I was gonna say Dancing in the Rain. I don't know why. Okay, but it's not that flow. But if you like Dancing in the Rain movie, the old one, I feel like they're gonna do an adaptation very soon, and I hope it's gonna be good. But so those are the 6 piles. Okay, I put them directly, so just go back a few in time so that you can choose your pile. Okay, so I'm also gonna shuffle the other things on the side. So this is their mood. Okay, so this is their mood. What was my mood that day? Okay, it could be connected to you, as it could not be necessarily connected to you. I have an intention when I'm doing this reading. I have a question in my headspace. So I'm gonna kind of like try forgetting about it, because that's the best way you can read tarot overall. Not think about the situation, but with the intention that no matter what you get out of this, you will kind of get some kind of enlightenment, one or not. What was your person's mood that day? Okay, it could be connected to you, as it could be, okay, we're gonna say it's not really connected to you, as it could. It could, as it might not be. Okay, so I shuffled it in that way. Who as a witnessing eye, okay? How would my third eye or witnessing eye, enlightened eye perhaps, or my inanimate things that kind of are like, let's just keep this. How would a psychic describe this person? Okay, we're gonna go there. How would a psychic describe this person? Or a person that has the ability to kind of see what a third eye concept. Okay, so we're gonna go more third eye with this one because I need to elevate a bit. Okay, so we're just gonna kind of have faith that we're guided properly. Oh my god. What type of man or female is this? What type of spirit it is, or is we can't go spirit, we can't identify a person just with archetypes, okay? It's not doable, but we're gonna try, okay? So we're gonna go more witnessing eye, which means that we're not gonna judge anything. I'm not gonna judge. I can't judge this one. Even if I were to describe what I'm feeling, I'm not judging the person, okay? So guys, whatever I'm gonna say, we can't judge your person, okay? Like, you're gonna have to witness your person, which means that learn how to witness. Witness. How I'm gonna witness, okay? So it's gonna be more witnessing. Discernment, third eye concepts, that kind. How are they feeling in that moment? Okay, it could be not connected to you as it could be connected to you. Okay, so it differs from one situation to the other. Okay, so we're just gonna kind of like shuffle this very fast. This is the feeling energy, okay? So how are they feeling, or could also be part of their personality, could be. All of this will kind of give you certain information about who we're talking about, okay? Now, activation, it's more the vibe they were in, okay? So it could be you impacted this person in that way. Okay, your presence impacted this person in a specific manner, okay? So it's more that flow we're gonna go. Could be my vibe in it like that, or my vibe connected with you. Okay, so it's that flow we're gonna go. This is the vibe they were in, and the relationship dynamic, okay? Like the dynamic of the relationship was, how was it? Intimate? Was it familiar? Was it transparent? So these could be more external. The oracles with lone are more like the dynamic of the situation. Okay, I don't need to shuffle this. So we're ready. If you want to dislike, comment down below. Definitely, if you want to share the video, go ahead. If you want private readings, you can, you know, my description box is there. Read it first, make the decision. If you're ready to gamble, contact me. Okay, that's it. Thank you. See you in your pile. Now, pile one, whoever chose Fountain Tarot, welcome to your reading. Okay, so what was happening to your person? Okay, to the person you're here for. You have a question, something happened, you're like not sure how to take it, perhaps, or like it's a person that you might never meet in your life as you might meet them, but what was happening to them at that time? Okay, if it's romantic, you know it. If it's not romantic, then you keep the mentality that way, even if perhaps I might go that way. Okay, so whoever chose pile one, what was happening to your person at the time, whatever they did or whatever happened, however you were impacted. Could be I was not impacted, but you were impacted by it. Okay, it could be that way. Okay, so we're just gonna kind of like shed light in what happened in their, like, how was I behaving? Perhaps it's more that flow. So the relationship between you and me, the dynamic as per their perspective was more romantic. You have sacral chakra here. It's the house of emotions, sensuality, sexuality bit. How was I feeling? You have the beaver in reverse. Okay, so beaver is my feeling connect. Who am I? Okay, so from a witnessing eye, how would we kind of the father? So this is either a real father in real life, as it could be a very grounded man or female. Okay, it's a very wise, hardworking, as stable and wise. It's like it's a man or it's a woman that knows when to budge, when not to budge. Very wise person, okay, with a lot of experience. It's a very masculine energy, this one. It's very masculine. It's definitely a very masculine energy. You have magic. My mood in the day was magic. Could be my mood is magical, so I could be a very magical person. And how change. What was happening to me in that moment? Well, the dynamic with you and me is very sensuous, sensitive, intimate. It could be that flow a bit. But it's like I was navigating through my emotions. Okay, so my emotions were visible here, and it was pleasurable to kind of be with you. It's like sometimes, you know, your emotions are just like accepted, or they're out there, and it's like you enjoy the fact that your emotions are out there, and you feel more magical and whimsical kind of thing. It could be that way, okay? And the vibe with you was more like change. You kind of were changing, or you were kind of working that way, okay? With my energy, my aura was more magic, okay? So I was a bit magical. I have a magical vibe to me a bit, okay? But who am I with the father? It's a very masculine energy. It could be a real father, okay? So it's a man who has seeded children. Okay, so I'm a man, or I'm a woman who... No, this is a man, okay? We're gonna follow my intuition. We're gonna say this is a man, okay? It's a real man with a phallic. Okay, it's a man that has already seeded children, bear children. Okay, so it's like my seeds have given children in the world, okay? It's that kind. And with the beaver, the feelings I kind of felt at that time, it's more like I was more collaborative, okay? So I was more collaborative and smiling and sociable, that kind. So what was happening to me at that time? So you have the Page of Wands, okay, with the Eight of Swords. The challenge here is the Two of Swords. Kind of ignore something, like be indifferent to it. Perhaps it's more the vibe. What was happening was perhaps that I saw you this way, as I might kind of I've catched myself doing something I felt guilty about. Perhaps it could be that way. What the reason was the Ace of Swords. You have the Hermit card and the initial. In the middle, you have the 10 of Coins. And in the near future, you have the 9 of Cups. What was happening to me? What was the main... It's like you have the 9 of Coins. So it's more a flow of independence. It's more a flow of gaining wisdom. It's more a flow of overachieving and succeeding. So, I guess I have everything. So what was happening to your person? On the physical level, I was more childish and, how can you say this? With the Page of Wands, it's that flow where, I'm just having fun here. But then again, it's as if when I was having fun, I didn't kind of I wasn't aware of the fact that I was being a nuisance, or the fact that I was it's okay. I'm just gonna show it and how I'm kind of reading into this. It's more a flow of I'm the kid. Okay, let's say I'm the kid. I could be a girl as I could be a guy, but here it's more like a masculine energy. It's more like what was happening to me was I was playing like an innocent child, perhaps, but then again, I got punished because I played very widely, or I kind of messed things up overall. It's that flow overall. Now, the reason why it's this way that I was acting was because this is what the truth was, perhaps. I'm kind of a bit... what was happening here? I can't get the idea straight here. 1 second. What was happening to me in that moment? I was having fun, but then again, somebody scolded me. I felt like I was childish, but then again, I got scolded for being childish. I could be a father figure here. So I got scolded for being childish, or this was what was happening during my day. Could be it's not connected to you, but this is what you needed to kind of know. It's perhaps someone scolded this person, this father figure, and when they kind of met you, you kind of changed their vibes completely. Could be that way, this one. This one, it's more well ended. Okay, so overall at the beginning I felt scolded by someone. Okay, someone was scolding me, someone was arguing with me, someone was criticizing me, perhaps as a father, you'll know. And the reason why it was that way is because it's the truth, or someone needed to kind of say that truth to me. Okay, so it could be this is external from you, could be with you as it could be external, but I'm feeling this external. And in the initial with the Hermit card, it's more like I kind of I can read this a different way. Okay, I'm gonna give you a different one where this is your father feeling this way. Okay, and the relationship you were feeling with this person is more emotional. Okay, it's your father, you have emotions towards your father, which is completely normal. Okay, but it's a genuine loving kind of way. That love has different meanings. So this one, first one, let me just finish this one. This is a father that came. He was scolded by someone, okay, for being childish or something of the sort. And he's meeting you, or she's meeting you, this one, whoever it is. And their challenge is that you perhaps act ignorant, or you don't know about it, okay? Like, I don't want you to know that my wife is, like, arguing, or, like, or my boyfriend, okay? I could be a man and I have a husband or something of the sort, okay? I don't want my hubby or like my partner to kind of do this in front of you. So it's more in the initial, I was isolated for sure. I isolated myself from that person. And with you interaction wise, it's more like I kind of perhaps followed my intuition, or I kind of wish to kind of be with you so that you can kind of service me, or service me. It could be a customer of yours, this one, as it doesn't need to be. Okay, so the 10 of coins, it's that flow where I felt more stable. Okay, I felt more stable. I was not with those my partner or my person that kind of like scolded me. So this one, it's more like a child that felt scolded, so it's more the flow of bonding with you, because their inner child is a bit wounded here. Okay, so and then in the near future, it's like you had the 10 of coins, which was more like you kind of stabilized me, or it's you changed the whole dynamic of me feeling guilty, etc., to something more like I was happy after I kind of got the service from you. Okay, it could be like you can work anywhere you want. Okay, as long as it's just that you didn't. Okay, this one, it's more externally. I kind of had something happen. Okay, so either I misbehaved with my wife, my boyfriend, my husband, someone scolded me, and I felt like I was guilty of that. Okay, why? So it's because it was the truth that was spoken. Okay, and my challenge was that you should not hear that. Okay, because usually it's like if you're a stranger or you've never met this one before, this one kind of doesn't want you to those kind of stuff. Okay, it's a bit like embarrassing, but the person was kind of like feeling like a wounded kid perhaps when they came to you, and they liked your presence, so that's why it was more romantic, let's say. It was more intimate like that. So in the initial, it's more like they kind of just followed their path. They kind of just, you know, like they needed to see you because they needed to travel, or they needed to kind of grab their coffee and just go. It could be many ways. With the 10 of coins, it's more like I felt more grounded, back to normal kind of thing, because I'm a father, or I'm like a grounded person. And then with the 9 of cups, it's more a flow of my wish got fulfilled. Like I got my coffee, or I got my like boarding pass, and my bag is checked in, and all my documents were verified, so I can just walk on my way, or whichever work you do Okay, it's more like they can go, they're on their way. Now, this is one option. The second option is more, this is a single father. It could be that way. And he wanted to collaborate with you. He was in a more magical vibe. What the changing the aura that kind of connected with you was more that energy where there could be change here. Okay, so I could perhaps change my my status from single to, you know, a married father, or like someone who can kind of like help me raise my children. And how I feel overall, the relationship was more on a romantically, I was interested in you. So the main situation would be with the Page of Wands, it's more, I'm kind of more like in a childish inner child vibe. With the Eight of Swords, I felt a bit guilty of doing this, perhaps because of XYZ reasons. It could be that you're more younger, you're a guy, you're a girl, or it's like you're single, you're not single, etc. And why I did this, it's more because it's a truth that perhaps I did like you. Could be that way. So I'm kind of like waking up the fact that I don't have a card representing you here. I don't have a card representing you here. It's not really important. We're just gonna kind of like go with the flow. Okay, so I'm gonna have faith that whatever I need to say will be said. Okay, so basically with the Hermit card first, it's more like I believe that I should be single, as I should kind of just walk my own path. But with you, this interaction was more you know, stabilizing, and I got a wish fulfillment. Perhaps it could be that I could let go of those guilty mentalities and kind of like have faith that I could have something with you. It could be that way. Okay, so as you're single, as you're not, okay? But I could be patient here. Now, the third option, the second one was more for a single father who might kind of like you, okay? With the Beaver, it's more collaboration or family oriented, or I want to build a family. It could be that way. And I'm kind of feeling these ways. So it could be a first glance element of like, you know, feeling like I can change, okay? I could be a new person, etc. That's if I'm single, you know, I'm single, okay? The third one, it's more your own father, okay? So this is your father who's kind of like feeling magical, or feeling like he can change certain stuff, and looking at you, he kind of appreciates the change element inside of you, and he's collaborating with you, okay? So what was happening to him, it was more like he kind of perhaps saw, this could be the way I saw you, okay? So if you're my son or my daughter, I kind of like recall that moment where you were a child and you were so you know, bright and naive, or like full of energy like this. And then I kind of recall this moment where you're feeling guilty, you're feeling like you're being bullied or something of the sort. This one, it could be many ways, guys, okay? Like, I don't know who your father is. It could be that I have a scenario where a kid, you're my child or you're my daughter, and I see just to what point you're ashamed of yourself, or it's like there's a lot of pressure put on you, there's a lot of expectation on you, and I kind of see it, okay? So perhaps I'm doing these things which I'm not aware of, or I'm kind of wishing you to change, okay? So it could be that I'm wishing you to kind of go back to the energy of feeling more uplifted, you know, instead of feeling ashamed of what you're doing, okay? So I was a bit like hurt this one. It could be that way, but magical is the word, and the feeling is the Beaver. The Beaver could also be supportive. It's collaboration work. So I'm kind of seeing perhaps that, you know, you're not happy, and my challenge here is to not seem indifferent to it, or like wake up to it, or make you talk about it and not you know, block me here, okay? So it could be that way, as if like this is a father figure that's really worried about you, their son or their daughter, and I want you to kind of sit down and not ignore me, or not kind of feel like you just want to deal with it yourself, okay? Because you're feeling embarrassed or shamed or guilty, something of the sort. I just want you to kind of rely on me, perhaps, this one. Okay, you'll know. With the Hermit card, with the Hermit card in the initial, it's more a flow of like perhaps I'm kind of needing to do some soul searching and find out where I went wrong as a father or mother. With the 10 of coins in the present moment, it's more like I wanna kind of like stabilize the situation here. And with the 9 of cups, it's more I'm kind of smiling and trying my best to kind of make your wishes come true, or to make you happy, something of the sort. Okay, so to kind of make you happy, this one. Not feeling that last one, but it's this is what I need to say, then I'll say it. Okay, so this one, it's more that flow. Okay, what was happening to this person at that time? This is the universal love. Change. Okay, so that was pile 1. Pile 2, whoever chose Night Sun Tarot, welcome to your reading. I hope you're all safe and healthy in this time. So let us see what was happening to your person at the time. Okay, so what was happening from their perspective? What was their mood? Who were they? How are they feeling about the dynamic of between you and them? Okay, so what was the dynamic between you and them? So who am I? So you have the underworld. Okay, you might hear my family. It's okay. The mood I was in, it's balance. Underworld is balanced here. So I'm just gonna channel what I see, perhaps this one. How I was feeling, octopus. The vibe, perhaps. This is the relationship between you and me was transformation. The underworld is giving me like a Michael Jackson Thriller background dancer vibe a bit, okay? Like the Thriller, like the Halloween vibe a bit. Someone that's dead inside, perhaps. When I'm saying dead inside, it's more like perhaps depressed. I don't say suicidal for some part. But overall, through witnessing awe, if I were to kind of like express who this person is, it could be a person that is a bit depressed, very depressed actually. A person that might kind of I don't want to kind of say this, but rotten is the word that comes in mind. Then there's this other story about what's the name? It's not coming to mind, but if I were to describe the storyline, you'll understand. It's about a painting of a man, okay? And the man didn't realize to what point he was handsome, okay? But he was a very handsome, beautiful man. Now, once the painter draw Dickens, it's a very famous book, okay? It's about a painting that it's more fictional, and it's about the man who's got painted. Let's say there's a painting of me made by a painter who's perhaps in love with my beauty, okay? So he painted it in such a way that I'm very beautiful in the painting, okay? So everybody admires me on the painting. And then I start kind of killing people, and I still stay young, but my painting starts becoming rotten. I don't remember the story, but that's the vibe I'm getting from this one. But it's not, perhaps, it's a person that might look very attractive on a physical level, but they might not be happy. That could be that way. Okay, so let me see what I'm missing. There's one more. What was I vibing to? Emergence. So yeah, underworld and emergence are definitely one by one. So it's either I'm very depressed, I'm a very depressed person, okay? I might not seem depressed, I might not seem ugly like this, but then again, underneath, I am ugly a bit. So perhaps it's a good thing what happened to them at that time. How I felt with you, it's more like I emerged. So I'm not hiding like that. As if like perhaps I woke up. And what type of relationship we were having at that time was more transformational. Transformed my life. And with the octopus, how I was feeling, it's more, I was analyzing what you were doing. Very interesting. Okay, so you have the Knight of Swords energy here as what was happening. Okay, so on a physical level, I seemed more like busy. I just did things without thinking, perhaps, and my challenge connected to you was to kind of allow myself to perhaps like you. And the reason why it's that way, it's the King of Pentacles. It's more like this vicious cycle. Sometimes you wake up to so much about your past life, okay? Like your past life, okay? Like past life is in the present, life you have, okay? Like, we're not talking past life like that. We're talking like your past self. So you had the Page of Pentacles in the middle. And in the near future, what was happening to me was the Five of Wands with the Page of Wands. So this one, do I need to read that? There's worms here. This one, what you have to understand is that what happened to them at that time was that they were very depressed, okay? Whether or not they were not in their best, vibrations, okay? Whether or not. There was a lot of self-doubt, there was a lot of depressive elements, there was a lot of like suicidal thoughts, perhaps a lot of defensive mechanism, a lot of wordiness issue, okay, a lot of like lashing out on people, ego tripping a bit, or like guardedness, okay? It could be in the form of guarded energy, it could be in the form of like stay away from me kind of concept. A lot of like thinking that they're better than other people, or it's the opposite. It's more like acting that way, but because they want to hide the fact that they don't like themselves, or they detest themselves, they're very self-degradative. It could be many things. You have the earth, but it's rotten, okay? So it's rotten inside, it's ugly inside, or it's ugly outside. But what I channeled was more something Dickens. It's a very famous book. I don't remember the title. As easy as it seems, it's like once I finish this reading, I'll kind of like find it, but I can't. Just understand, it's a very handsome person. It could be handsome and beautiful female, this one, okay? But you will never kind of think about it. But the vibe they were in, okay, so even if we're going psychically or witnessing eye-wise with the underworld, it's not who they really are, not only what they are, okay? Because I'm kind of going a specific chapter in my life, okay? Like, it could be me here, as it doesn't need to be, or it's someone that kind of was depressive, rotten inside of it, okay? It could be rotten, okay? Like, I was rotting from inside. It's like, it was not, there was a lot of baggage, there was a lot of like suicidal thoughts, there was a lot of like, I want to kind of succeed and I'm alive, or it's the fact that I survived that. It could be many things, okay? With the underworld, it's very, we can go deep in there. It has a lot of positive things, as it has a lot of negative, okay? But it's that flow, okay? So this one, the overall message was, even if there was rejection, it could be in the form of, I wanted to give you the opportunity, but because of my rotten, ugly personality, or my rotten, ugly, it's not ugly, it's a part of me perhaps that I needed to kind of accept, which I might have, as I might not have, okay? But this one, it's more, it's not the right time. Whenever something happened between you guys, the person had a 180 degree change with you, okay? So whatever you did, perhaps, or whatever the interaction was, changed this one, okay? So it could be in the form of like, I was sleeping, Could be underworld was I was sleeping. Okay, like my spirit was sleeping, something of the sort. It could be very metaphoric as like that. Okay, like I needed to kind of have a something with a certain person, so that I can emerge like this. Okay, it's more like wake up to the fact that you have spirit. Okay, so I became more spiritual because of a specific person. So you could have done the same thing to this one. Okay, so it's more perhaps I was sleeping all my life. I might have been depressed. I might have been, dead, perhaps suicidal, depressive, abused, depressed. Okay, there's a pit here. But with interaction with you, I became more balanced, okay? Or I was balanced when it happened. So I was more prepared, okay? So it could be spiritually, I was prepared to wake up, but I was not, okay? So this is more spiritual elements I'm tapping into, okay? With emergence, I kind of felt like there was a calling, this one. It's like a calling, okay? And what the relationship ended up being for me, as per me, it ended up changing a lot of stuff. But it's not just change, this is transformation. I was never the same before. I can't go back. Like, I really can't go back to the person I was before that interaction happened. So it's definitely life-changing. It could be that way, as it could just be a calling element. It's just I needed to wake up with someone in front of me. Some people have accidents. It happens that way. Some people need that, like their biggest, fear to kind of face them. So what was happening to me is more like I was acting, like I was always in the go. I always kind of just do my thing, and I don't kind of meddle with other people that much. But I also wanted to just go and not think. Okay? So, based on how the situation was, whichever way it was, okay? Because I have a scenario in my head, but I can't describe it here. Doesn't, but there's a flow here, okay? I'm going in. So, whatever the interaction was, I kind of perhaps acted like I just needed to, go somewhere. Why so? Because you were kind of imposing yourself on me, okay? So you were a bit imposing, okay? Like you had this very like grounded nature to you perhaps, and I kind of like felt more analytical, okay? Like I tried understanding your emotions when you were doing it, why you were doing it perhaps, okay? But then again, it's more in the flow of you were standing in front of me. And my challenge in that moment, it's more, you were standing in front of me or the situation, okay? It could be that I need to pass, like I need the pathway to be available to me so that I can just walk on it, right? But then again, you blocked my way, okay? But you're like grounded there, and you're kind of like standing your ground. And like, I needed to face you somehow, like I need to give you explanation, or I need to just be receptive or listen to you somehow, that kind. And with the challenge being with the Six of Cups, it's either kind of nurture feelings here for you. It could be that way, but my heart did pump a lot, okay? On a physical level, in the initial when this happened, it's more like my heart started pumping. As if like I kind of woke up to the fact that perhaps I do have a heart. In the middle section with the Page of Pentacles, it's more like I kind of felt happy though that this was happening. And in the near future with the Five of Wands and the Page of Wands, it's more like because of this interaction, which is completely normal, I wanted to kind of entrap you. I perhaps might have started being obsessed with you. It could be that way. was the beginning of an obsession, as it doesn't need to be. Because this one, if this is a depressed person, okay, things don't go the way they want in their life. Okay, so if I am like this, based on when you're kind of meeting this one, the person might start obsessing over you, which I don't want you to kind of know this, because it's not good to obsess. Okay, so it's not a healthy vibe to go in until they kind of get out of it themselves, which might take forever, as it might take. No, this one, if I'm really depressed and you kind of impacted me like this, I'll find ways to kind of want you to kind of be conflicted over me. So based on how intense of a person I could be, okay, this one, it could be a crazy person, as it could be someone that has no limit. I'm putting it back in. But with the Page of Wands, I became more passionate about you. So the vibe I was in is that you cleansed it, perhaps, as you kind of woke me, as you kind of could have made me feel more balanced. Okay, so it's a good thing that you've done whatever you needed to do, but this one might have ended up obsessing. So what was happening to me overall is that I kind of felt something I've never felt before through you. Okay, or you made me feel good, perhaps. That's the song. You made me feel good. Na 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 na. You make me feel good. That kind. Okay, but if I'm someone from the underground, it means that perhaps I was sleeping spiritually, as if like I'm not like awake yet. Okay, like I was not awake to myself, loving myself. I was more abusive, or I was only the victim here in the situation, etc. Okay, or in life I was always the victim, or I thought that I was always the victim. That kind. Okay, or I was sleeping all the time. Sleeping, as if like I could be awake, but I'm asleep. Okay, like I'm asleep. I kind of just go, like I don't use my life to kind of do things, you know, to ground myself, to be creative, to kind of have good self-esteem, etc. Okay, so this one, it's a good thing you've done. Okay, so your presence, or whatever you did, help this one wake up to something. But this is overall, it could be in the present moment. If I'm reading this to you and it happened recently, the person might start becoming obsessed over you. Okay, but they will have to get out of it, and you just need to kind of be yourself with them overall, so that they can have that wake-up call. Okay, if you like them, then you can definitely be with them. But then again, I'll say it's not like, perhaps with you they feel more balanced. It could be that way. So if they kind of spend more time with you, they'll get out of their obsession. But for some part, the obsession is more connected with them. It's in their hands. I need to do things that make me happy, so that I can have that void inside of me filled up, kind of thing. You might kind of help me out, but then again, if you were to do that, it's not healthy for them, because you're going to end up feeling like you're sacrificing a lot of stuff. The other one is going to end up becoming codependent on you. Okay? But until the person learns, perhaps I learned, okay? So I kind of don't meet the person who like did that to me, but I kind of like obsess. I really did, okay? It's not normal to walk. I used to not obsess over people. I would obsess over manga characters, or like, you know, actors and fangirls, or fanboying, things like that. But I never was obsessed with a man before. But then again, I needed to kind of get over that feeling of obsession, so that I can kind of be more grounded and a better person at this point in my life. So it's more that flow. Okay, so what was happening, it's you woke someone up, okay? But don't look at yourself as if you're high and mighty. This one. It's just that the meeting, or the chemistry, or the relationship is like that. So how I felt was this, okay? So this could also be just me kind of expressing something in this reading, okay? So it's this is my belief, okay? This is my belief or my discernment. Might not be the same way you see it, okay? So that's pile 2, Night Sun. I really don't know where we're going. Okay, so pile 3, whoever chose Golden Universal Tarot, welcome to your reading. I hope you're all safe and healthy in this time. So let's see what was happening to this person at that time. What happened to me? What was happening to me with the interaction? Okay, so who's this person? The seed. The seed. How was their mood that day? You have frustration. Okay. I was frustrated. Could be with you, could not be with you, okay? So this one, it's both ways. The vibe connected to you, romantic love. Very interesting. The vibe I was in connected to you, I was romantically interested, but I was frustrated that day. And you have authenticity. Okay. So I was frustrated though. I don't know what, but I was frustrated. No. Okay. One more in sacral chakra. This is with you. Okay? And sorry. One more. How was I feeling? Dear. But I was in a frustrated mood. I don't know why I was frustrated, but we're gonna see what was happening to them at that time. So you have the Two of Wands energy. The challenge connected to you was the Nine of Wands. The reason why it's that way is the Five of Cups. And the initial, you have the High Priestess. This is funny. This is, I don't know. There's the Ace of Cups here, and the Present, and the Eight of Pentacles. So you have Ace of Cups, Eight of Pentacles, and Seven of Pentacles. And in the near future, it's more a flow of King of Pentacles. this was happening inside of me. Okay, so it's more genuine, I guess. I want to know what that King of Pentacles is connected to. What type of man or female am I? With the seed, it's a seed. It has a lot of potential. A seed has a lot of potential. A seed can give a lot of abundance. So this person is a person that can definitely give a lot of abundance, only when it gets out of the shell. Okay, so it's more, I'm kind of like channeling Osho Zen's Tarot Strength card, which is a seed that kind of needs to face the unknown, right? Needs to go through death, needs to be planted, but then again has to kind of go through transformation so that it will kind of grow. So it's a person that might kind of be strong. It's a person that like who this is witnessing I-wise, it's a person that is comfortable facing the unknown, perhaps. It's a person that doesn't have any fears that much. It's a person that has immense potential and knows it or not know it. But it's a seed. Okay, so it still hasn't grown up yet. So the vibe overall is more a seed. Okay, it has immense potential. For now, it's in the form of a seed, but there's a pearl here in the middle, which means pearl is a symbolism of success. So it's a successful man or female, okay? But the mood they were in at that time was that they were frustrated. But what vibe they were in was sacral chakra and romantic love. And the dynamic of the relationship between you and them, as per them, was more authentic. Okay? And overall, how they were feeling with the buffaloes, that I was purely loving you that time. Okay? So it's very beautiful like that. And on a physical level with the deer, I looked more motherly towards you, which is funny because the seed is more masculine energy. And then you have the deer with the buffalo. And the deer is more like a motherly vibe. But how I was feeling, I was grounded for sure. Because the seed is more grounded. It needs to be planted in the ground so that it can kind of grow overall and get its nutritions from there. So it needs to be seated somehow. It needs to be like seated in the womb of a female or the womb of Mother Earth, okay, so that it can grow. That's the type of person they are, okay? So just understand that it's a very success-oriented person, okay? We can go that way, as it's a person that is not afraid to kind of face the unknown. It's a person that has immense strength, okay? And what they were feeling overall is more genuine than you give them credit for, perhaps. Okay? So, that way. So with the Two of I'm just kind of like waking up to a lot of stuff. That's why it's taking me time. So with the Two of Wands energy, what was happening was more like I had an intention. So whatever I did perhaps had intention connected to you. The reason why it was that way is because I didn't want this to be a missed opportunity. And my challenge with the Nine of Wands was more to kind of like, I don't want this to be a missed opportunity, so I'm gonna do something about it. So I kind of like was in between those things. Should I do something and kind of like take things from there, or should I just kind of let it go kind of vibe? So that's what was their dilemma perhaps. And the initial energy with the High Priestess is that they kept their silence, but and perhaps it was more like secretive, or it was more it still was pure though. Okay, with the High Priestess, you can't say it's purity, but it's the symbol of a virgin. Okay, it could be different ways, but we're gonna go more authentic here. So I kind of perhaps followed my intuition. I got a gut feeling, or it's like I followed my intuition, and perhaps I offered you love and I worked hard on it and I was patient. So I kind of planted the seeds of my intentions through you, through my actions. And in the near future, what happened was more like I sat there and I waited and reaped my rewards. I did get my rewards. What did I get my reward from? Your love. Interesting. You did show me that you like me. So that was to this person. Okay, so this is a lot of like, I'm waking up to a lot of stuff here. Very revealing. So this is what happened at that time. I knew you liked me. I liked you back. It is beautiful. It is. Sad that I'm kind of learning about it now, but it's still okay. But I was frustrated, though. The mood I was in, I was frustrated, but I genuinely liked you. Very interesting. A lot was happening all at the same time, perhaps. That way. So that was it, pile 3. Now pile 4, whoever chose Osho Zen Tarot, welcome to your reading. I hope you're all safe and healthy this time. So let's see what was happening to this one. Okay, what was happening inside of me at that time. Okay. So let us tap into that. Sorry. Give me time, guys. Okay, just give me... So we're ready with Osho Zen Tarot. So let's see who's this person. You have the unseen. If I were to witness this one, the unseen. Can I have something more palpable, please? The castle. One more. And there's already the desert. Okay. I need to channel those cards for sure. But I need to kind of see what else I need. Very interesting. Okay, with the unseen, if we're going psychic wise, okay. The person is how can I express this? Because I don't want this to seem spooky. It's not spooky unless you kind of have an eye contact with this one. But the eye, it's not dangerous. It's not a dangerous person. It's not that kind. It's just that it's like the person is very spiritual perhaps, but with the way it looks at the body, it's like the body is a vessel that the spirit occupies it. Okay, so it's very much like that, which is completely normal. But I don't know if like there's a balance between those mind, body, spirit kind of thing, or there's more like I can't talk because I don't know. Okay, I don't know what this is, but I'm just gonna channel it. This is how I see it. Okay, so it's more like if we're going more psychic, energy field wise, the person has a very strong spiritual presence. Spiritual, okay, it could be in the form of energetic. Okay, it could be in the form of energetic presence. I have a lot. Your person, whoever you're here for, has a very good intuition, or it's a there is protection around it a lot, guides and all that kind of stuff, as it could be that their spirit is immense. Okay, there's an immensity. They've kind of done a lot of spiritual healing, spiritual practices. They could be in the art of practice also, because the desert is definitely a place to kind of where magic exists, perhaps this one. And with the castle, it's definitely, I cannot go empty here unless you know your person feels empty. But this one, it's not a question of emptiness. They reek of energy, this one. It reminds me of a person I kind of channel, okay? This guy, eye contact has a smell to it, okay? The vibration of this guy has a smell to it. As if like it has its own manifestation. That kind. With the unseen, it's that flow. With the castle, it's more like perhaps you're aware of the I can't go smell wise though here, this one. Smell is the body. Let's go with the castle. The castle is the body, okay? It smells something. There's a rose here. It smells something, okay? Okay, on a physical level, this person might have a lot of success, okay, because I kind of channeled seeds here, okay, and there's several pearls in this picture. But with the desert card, there's an element of forsakenment, or there's an element of exile, or there's an element of like, it's not worthiness issue though, this one. I can't go this way. It's more like I'm channeling camels, I'm channeling like oases. But here in this one, there's a hand. It could also be the Midas's hand. It could be that way. But this one, I don't know. We don't see if it's golden hand. It's not a golden hand. This is a regular hand. As if like there's a person stuck under the sand. And there's a redness or a pinkiness there. It's just like a bit alerting. Interesting. And on a physical level, how they were feeling manipulative, okay? It's more like manipulative, dangerous, perhaps, but it's not that dangerous. But the way the picture is projected here is dangerous, perhaps. Okay, it's okay. And then you have the frog underneath. Okay, so it's more turned on. What was my mood? Flow. And fear. Flow and fear. What was I feeling with you? You have abundance and presence. Okay, so the relationship with you was for like it was interesting. Okay, so you have the abundance and the presence card here. This is the relationship that was in between you and this person. Okay, so is that flow we're going, but there's flow and there's fear. But the funny part is the fear, there's an open door here. I was fearing the flow though. Like I was fearing the element of you saw me, perhaps. This one. You saw me, but I was showing you this though. Or this was visible to you. And passion. I don't know. I'm just gonna create the Celtic spread because I kind of like letting go. What was happening to me? It's a beautiful scene though. This one, it's beautiful like that. kind of channeled teardrops on my guitar. So I kind of had a bad letting go beyond illusions. Judgment card with friendliness. The challenge here is transformation. I don't know the reason why it's that way. It's the King of Pentacles. In the initial, you have the Master, which is definitely the unseen here. You do have the unseen, which is the third eye. Okay, so the Master, it's more like you're the master of your own life. But projection and aloneness. Oh my god, no. Oh, I get it, perhaps. I don't know. So you have the aloneness and you have the projection. In the middle section, you have exhaustion. And then in the near future, it's more understanding. So what was happening to me at that time? It's the second time I have the Wheel of Fortune. I had it in pile 2 perhaps with the Golden Universal Tarot and Sorrow. Okay, you and this person might be very similar, or you saw something inside of them that they felt also themselves. So it's more a mirroring that happened, this one. This one, it's more perhaps you guys projected to each other your own discernment. Okay, so it's more like how you kind of behave with people and how deeply you see in people, perhaps, and how this person does the same thing, and it's like meeting you. The interaction was more about finding someone that is very similar to you. Could be in the form of a friendliness, as it could be in the form of a soulmate, or it could just be an interaction with someone that is very similar to you. And you're kind of meeting that person. It's kind of like that. It's more a person that you kind of cross paths with. Is there any future here with this one? Creativity. And creativity of what? Inner voice. So change. So can we just sorry guys, just sometimes it's like things happen. I can't. So I was saying, letting go beyond illusion, friendliness. So it's more a flow of mirroring, and it's more a flow of meeting someone that's kind of like giving the same. That it's like meeting someone who's very familiar. They seem very familiar because they're kind of mirroring certain things to you. So this is what was happening to them. They felt like you were mirroring a vibration that they know very much. Okay, so it could be in the form of what the unseen, it's that I could be very intuitive. Okay, so I see things myself. It could be that way. With the castle, it's more the body is very available. It's like a vessel. It's just thing that I'm kind of like occupying now. And with the desert, it's more like I'm used to loneliness. I'm used to being alone and on my own path. Could be that way. Now the vibe that they got, which is that they felt very passionate. So there was more like a flame that kind of got enlightened here. It could be that way. Okay, when I'm kind of like saying that, my ears are becoming red. So I could definitely feel that way. It could be. And the relationship was more abundance on the presence level. So it's more the unseen element. So you yourself might be very intuitive. And you do have perhaps a big energy. Okay, so what happened to this one was that he kind of liked the interaction with you. Okay, they really liked the interaction with you, the projection of himself or herself through you, kind of thing. Then again, they got exhausted because it was too much mirroring. Okay, or they kind of like mentioned, or they recalled that they were exhausted. And at the end, it's more like with understanding, it's more like they kind of just understood perhaps that you wanted them to kind of keep on moving, perhaps. Could be that way. Or they understood that perhaps you also sensed it, but it was becoming too much. So, you know, sometimes when you're too vulnerable with someone you don't know, okay, but you or your person don't talk, you don't want to talk like that because you're too aware, okay? So it's more like I see things the way it is, the other one sees it, but then again, we're two strangers. So perhaps it's more like a amsa, or it's like a soulmate perhaps that you kind of met just like that. They kind of interacted with you in a more good way. Okay, so it's more calmer and more profound. Okay, so the overall interaction with this person was very profound because you and them had a certain affinity. Okay, they were projecting themselves on you and you were projecting yourself on them. Or it's not even a question of projection. This one, it's not a question of projection. This is just a question of like meeting someone that you feel very familiar and very close to because they have similar abilities than you, or they have similar patterns than you. It's very, very patterny. Okay, so perhaps with the fear here, like, it's not even fear. What my mood was I was flowing very easily with you because it was open. Okay, so it's not an element of you're not aware of it. I saw that you were aware of something about me. Okay, you were aware of me a lot, as I was aware of you a lot, but I was aware that you were aware. So it's that flow, this one. Okay, but my challenge with the transformation was more to kind of either transform with you, or transform you perhaps. Okay, it could be that way. It could be also that I saw something about you that you were not aware of. But then I got exhausted because I used my ability, perhaps. And then the near future, it's more like what happened is more like I understood. Could be in the form of Reiki healing too. Okay, it's more like you meet someone and this person is too receptive to you, and you kind of have to, like, when you see it, you have to deal with it, perhaps. I don't know. It's more like you can't, or you could ignore it, but then again, because you kind of absorbed it, you have to release it, perhaps. So perhaps that's what they did with you. It's more friendly. Overall, what was happening to them is that they were very friendly with you. They kind of saw you beyond illusions. Perhaps I saw through you beyond illusions. And with the letting go, I let go of something, perhaps, or I kind of released something. The reason why I did that with abundance is more like perhaps I have a lot of abundance to me. It's either I have a lot of energy, and perhaps I kind of gave some to you. I don't know what happened in this one. So this is more Reiki stuff, as it could not be. I don't know what I'm talking about, okay? But there's an element of exchange of energy, or exchange of vibration, exchange of something of that sort, okay? There was projection of self. Could be in the form of projection. I projected certain stuff, you projected yourself, and that's what made the relationship like that. As it doesn't need to be. It's like, I'm aware of your own projections, you're aware of your own projections. So it's more like two people that are very aware. With the Master card is definitely awareness. It's an element of I'm the master of my own life. Okay, so the relationship was very much focused on self-presence. It was a very energetically abundant. Okay, like you have a lot of abundance, I have a lot of abundance. I'm meeting someone who's very similar to me in this one. But in the middle, it's more like I kind of perhaps felt exhausted, or I kind of like wanted to just kind of perhaps go with the flow, where it's like, because it's too open, I just needed to kind of open up even more. Okay, it's like, what's the point of like ignoring an open door when you know that you need to kind of walk through it so that you can kind of arrive somewhere. That's what happened. And then in the near future with understanding, it's more like I understood what the relationship felt, perhaps. Like I understood afterwards what was happening between you and me. Could be that way, this one. Okay, so with the spider, it's more like on a physical level, I look like I had a vibe to me that's more like stay away from me, perhaps, or I'm like more independent, more manipulative, more chiller. It's like I have my shit together, I'm hardworking kind of flow. In the internal though, I was quite turned on. Okay, so this one, it's definitely perhaps they were turned on by the idea of that there's someone that's very similar to them. You know, it's an element of when there's intimacy, there's an element of, you know, sensuality that's created. So it could be in the form of it manifested itself like that. But energetically, it's like two people that met each other. Like, I was aware that you were into tarot, or you were like into the art of occult sciences, you're meditative, it could be that way. But this one, it's different ways. You can kind of go very crazy here, as we can go more grounded. This one, it's more like there's an element of intuition, and there's an element of primitive knowing. Okay, so I know a lot of stuff about you, as you know a lot of stuff about me, as it's in the form of intuition. Okay, the person could be into occult sciences, as the person might not know about it. But this one, it's more I'm aware of this about you. Okay, it's like, for example, I'll give an idea. I work at the airport. Okay, whichever airport it is, it's not important, but I work at the airport, and there's like a coffee shop I usually go. One day I went there to grab myself a coffee, and there was a lady. She kind of like, we had this eye contact. Okay, And I kept looking at this woman because there's something about, like, it's like sometimes you just look at a woman. This was an old woman. She was not old, but she was in her 50s or 40s, 50s. And she kind of like looked at me with a specific like eye contact, as if like she kind of read me or something. At first I thought it was weird, but I was acting weird too because I was observing the woman without knowing why I was observing her. You know, that kind. It's like sometimes you just observe people and just glancing, right? But then there's this aspect of like you're really looking at the person. And me knowing myself today, I'm sure that it's like I have a specific like concentrated gaze, okay, I give to people. So it's like I cannot glance simply, okay? I look, you know? So I was looking at this woman, and it's like I didn't understand why she started looking at me, but I was looking at her too. It's more like that. It's more like it's a two-way thing. There's another eye contact I had another man recently, and it could be about how they were feeling towards me or I was feeling towards them. But overall, there was something very similar to my previous experience with the woman. The woman was psychic. She kind of started like saying, are you... She kind of knew what my culture was, and I kind of said yes. She said, oh, okay, like it looks like that through your face. So perhaps she's more into reading faces, or it's like reading people's eyes, or she just kind of is psychic, because that's the vibe I got from her, okay? I never met this woman again, but then again with other men, I kind of felt very intimate with this one. I've never felt intimate like this, okay, in my life. And afterwards I was very like, I felt very close to this one, to that point. It's like the person felt close to me, Joe. He kind of like talked to me as if like I was his friend. Okay. No, there's a friend kind of thing, and there's a real element of whatever he was saying. He was really like feeling those things, so there was no covering up, okay? So I don't know if I should kind of like say I was sure that he was not faking the friendship, okay? It's genuine conversation we're having. Like I was very aware and alert when I was having that conversation. I felt too bashful because I perhaps feared the element that was too open. Okay, so it's very similar, this one. This one, it's more like it's too flowy. It's too much. And I kind of like felt perhaps that I was passionate about this person. And the relationship was very abundant on presence. This person had such presence, it was not normal. Okay, I've never met a person with that much presence, or I've never tapped into a person's presence like I've tapped into this one. So I could be talking to the person I'm kind of like reading for, perhaps. It could be that way. But this one, how I was feeling, is definitely this way. Okay, like I felt passionate about this one because I felt like I was very close to this one. I was like talking to a friend of mine, like through lifetimes, as if like it's like I've never met this person, but then again we're talking as if like we know each other, we enjoy each other, or at least they enjoyed my presence there, but I was exhausted, or I kind of like didn't want to think about the fact that it was too much, too vulnerable, and I don't know you that much, but then again we're friends here kind of thing. But then after I understood what it was, kind of thing. Okay, so it's more like I understood the relationship after we kind of met each other, kind of thing. Okay, so it's that flow. You were very familiar to me. That was what was happening to me. I was letting go of certain things, but I was trying to let go of judging myself. Perhaps it could be that way too. I was very aware of myself, as if like, was I being too friendly, or was I being too kind of like, no, the person saw me for who I was. Okay, this one, it's more an element of I knew you saw me for who I was. I was naked in front of you, kind of thing. This one. But my challenge was to kind of, what was the challenge? I don't remember what the challenge was, but it's that flow. Anyways, now, I don't know. This is what I have, guys. I'm sorry. It's like I can't even recall what I had. Pile 5, whoever chose Millennium, Thoth, Tarot, welcome to your reading. I hope you're all safe and healthy in this time. So let us see what was happening to them at that time. Okay, so what was happening to them at that time? So we're ready. So who's this person? You have arrows. It's an artistic person. It's a person that likes museum, that likes makeup, that likes artists. They like entertainment. There might be in the movies, or an actress, a makeup artist, a fashionista, a designer. And work in the museum, perhaps. This one, it could be many things, because I channeled a famous it's an environment, it's a place in the city where there's a lot of like art exhibitions and museum vibes, where there's a lot of festivities, or there's a lot of events. So this one, it could be a person. If I were to kind of describe psychically or intuitive witnessing eye-wise what type of person we're talking about here, could be a famous person, as it could not necessarily be a famous person, but it's a person that might work with famous people. Or when I'm saying famous, it's not worldwide famous. It could be worldwide famous known, as it could be known in a specific department, a specific environment, a specific country, a specific city. Might not be internationally known, as it could, okay? But overall, the flow around this person is that it's a person that might be a model, or likes good fashion, luxurious stuff, jewelries, diamonds, crystals, and they wear those things, okay? It's all about pleasure, material pleasure, okay? Be it in the form of sex, it could be in the form of material gains, it could be in the form of like good cars, good lipstick. It's fashion overall. This is a very fashion driven woman or man, okay? I wear good style. I'm kind of an actor, or I kind of like walk on red carpets and that kind of stuff, okay? I don't know who I'm talking about, but this is who it is, okay? It could be an artist simply as it could be a known artist. Okay, artist could be a painter, a sculptor, a singer, a rapper, a movie director, producer, a designer, like an editor-in-chief or some of a magazine. That kind, it's that flow, it's that decor, design, art, painter, museum vibes. It's like all the things that it's like in a museum, you know. It's like people go and buy paintings for millions of dollars or something of the sort. Okay, it could be a rich person, as it doesn't need to be, but it could be no like that. As it could be also, okay, another vibe to it, a person that simply likes material stuff, or it's a person that likes physical intercourse. It could be fuck boy or fuck girl also, but this is not the flow. But I could have those tendencies, okay? It could lead me to those tendencies a bit. Okay, I'm not saying all artists are like this. No, this is not it. It's several possibilities that could be combined together, as it doesn't need to. As a sculptor, let's say, like, go to a sculpture. If I really need to, you know, draw something, I need to be impacted by it. Be it I need to sleep with the model sometimes so that I can feel it in my hands. You know, it's a different mentality, perhaps. It seeks something extra. It's very creative, as it doesn't need to, it indulges in creation. It indulges in imitating nature, perhaps. Has that flow a bit, okay? I don't have the artist here, but Eros, it could be I love material stuff. As it could be I love body stuff. You know, like I like dressing things. I like jewelries, minerals, and all that kind of stuff. I like imitating it. When I'm saying imitating it, that's what an artist does. It tries to imitate as much possible the reality so that it can englobe it. Okay, so it's good as it could be bad, but this one we're just going kind of different witnessing eye. Okay, so there's nothing right, there's nothing wrong about your person. We're not judging your person, we're witnessing your person. So we said who they are. How were they feeling at that time? Crocodile. Oh my god, who's that? Crocodile. Okay, I don't know how I'm gonna read that crocodile, but usually I read it well, but I don't know how to read it. Disruption. What was happening to me at that time? I might need another spirit animal card so that I can understand the flow. What relationship you and I had freedom. Okay, so we were free from each other. Okay, so we didn't really care that much about each other. Or I didn't care that much about you. Prosperity. I don't know how to read this. I don't know how to read this one. So, what was happening to them? Okay, we're just going to kind of open the cards. You have the Knight of Swords. My challenge connected to you was the Seven of Swords. The reason why it was at the Tower card, I don't know. Oh, what was happening to me? Connected to you. Could be connected. This one is connected to you. Either it's connected to you, it's the Aeon. What was happening to them at that time? And the Nine of Swords. In the middle section, we have Seven of Pentacles. With the crocodile, you know what's like, I'm kind of like the all eyes on us. All eyes on us. I don't know if it's the Big Banana song. Big banana, oh na 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 na. Big banana. It's a bit that flow, okay? But I'm kind of like channeling with the crocodiles, all eyes on us. And then you have the Four of Wands energy. What is the overall vibe of the reading, this one? You have the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Wands? Okay. What was happening to them at that time? Okay, but it's an interaction with you, though. This one, it's an interaction with you. Which one do I want? Which one do I want? Okay, I'm just gonna read what I kind of have here, but the mood I was in is disruption. Okay, I wanted to disrupt something. I wanted to distract. I was in the mood of I was distracted, perhaps. I was either distracted or I was disrupted. Okay, like I wanted to do something, but then again, someone disrupted this from me, okay? But how I was feeling with the crocodile, this stare, it's a stalker's stare, okay? It's either a stalker's stare, but the crocodile, it's like the more you kind of like learn about animals and all that kind of stuff, it's an animal that's connected to Sept. Let's say it's like destruction, the god of death, and all the sand and the desert and all that kind of stuff. But with the crocodile, it's crocodiles, you know, they just hunt for survival, okay? All animals practically hunt for survivals. Now, it's known to be a very gentle mother, okay? And they survive a long time. Now, with the eyes, when the eyes look at me, it's a bit spooky like that, but the flow they were feeling is that their eyes were on you. Were they on you? The eyes were on you, but there were eyes on me too. That's the thing here. My eyes were on you, but there were eyes on me too. Whoever I was, there were eyes on me too when I was looking at you. So when I was looking at you, like, the relationship we and me have is freedom. So we don't have anything. Either we're friends, long friends, or we're foreigners, or we're like strangers completely. But I had my eyes on you, but there were eyes on me too. That kind. Now, how I was feeling towards you, or at that time, was that I was feeling very prosperous. I was feeling prosperous. Okay. Now, in the middle section, with the Knight of Swords, what was happening to me is that I need one more, okay? Can you give me one more card for this Nine of Swords, okay? Like, I can't... I really don't know how to read this one. There's so much coming to head. There's one that's more flirtatious, okay? I was more flirty. Okay, I was flirty like shit, but then again, you and I are foreigners. So what was happening to me is that I was flirting with you, but then again, I was like, I can't even say I was doing something without thinking. I had my eyes on you, but I was looked at. So it's more like, I don't know what way. It's either I wanted to do something or I wanted to kind of make someone jealous, but it's not the flow here. Your person has a certain self-importance vibe to them, okay? Whoever I am, might have this self-important vibe to me, okay? And the reason why I wanted to do that was I was fired up. This one I was turned on, could be the word here, okay? This for me is when a man is turned on, there's an ejaculation, right? Okay, now it's more like there's fire burning inside of me. This is, I don't know, this one I don't want to go only sexual, but perhaps if this is a guy, he might have had a boner, okay, or he was definitely very turned on. This is a woman, she was turned on by you, okay? Overall, simply, we're just gonna keep this simple, okay? It happens. Sometimes you're so good looking that I just kind of like your eye candy, perhaps, but it could be. If I'm Eros here, you could definitely be eye candy. You know, like that kind. Perhaps, I don't know. I don't know this one. It's either I don't give a shit about you, but I can't go that way. It's either you kind of put me to my place or I was turned on. Why I was doing what I was doing because you turned me on. That kind. You turned me on, but there were people looking at me. So it's that flow. That's what it was happening. That was what was happening to me at that time. You turned me on so much. And my challenge was not to deceive you, perhaps. This one, it might be like I have a girlfriend or like a boyfriend, or it's like I'm already established like that. But then again, I met you through a glimpse or something of the sort. We had eye contact and I just kind of couldn't. Or I might know you, but then again, you're kind of single. You're not with me. That kind. Or not to deceive you, okay? It could be that I'm a known person, but how am I gonna kind of like deceive you? You know, that flow. I don't know. And in the this one is a bit turned on, okay? Like I can't, this one, when I see this card, it's not really an element of like, oh, my world is going upside down. This is more like I'm fired up. I'm fired up. It's like, I'm fired up. That's why, okay? Like that. In the initial with the Aeon and the Nine of Swords, okay, perhaps I got turned on and it was not what I wanted it to happen, okay? It could happen. It could happen that you turned someone on so badly that your person just is kind of starting to get nervous about the fact that perhaps people are going to see that they're turned on here, okay? That way. With the Seven of Pentacles, it's more like I'm telling myself to be patient here. I'm definitely telling myself to be patient here. And then in the near future with the Four of Wands, it's like I was nervous you would see that I was turned on, but there were people looking at me. eyes are on me. I don't know, I'm stalked, or it's like people guard me. I have guards here, or it's like my mom's looking at me, or like my superiors looking at me, or something of the sort, okay? But then again, I kind of, what is the Four of Wands signify here, okay? Like, what happened to this person? How were they, like, I'm just gonna read the cards very fast here, okay? So you have the Six of Pentacles, you have the Three of Swords, you have the Hangman, and you have the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, this one is just kind of like, I needed to collaborate with you. I kind of found myself a partner. I found myself someone who could be compatible to me, but it's more with the Four of Wands energy. It's a flow of like, there is pure love here, perhaps. There is pure love, even though it's turned on. The Three of Swords, the secret is something that perhaps you're indifferent to, or you don't know about this, or it's something hurtful altogether. With the Hangman, I did not necessarily ground what I wanted to ground properly, okay? If I wanted to ground proper things, it's like you and I would have already, like, done something else, okay? This one, but I just thought about this, okay? Like, but I was really, like, my head was just working on this, okay? It's a bit scandalous like that, but I was turned on so much, okay? So it's a bit, this is what was happening to your person, okay? But they wanted to just run away, or they were frustrated with themselves because they were turned on. Could be that way. I didn't want you to perhaps see that I was turned on. Could be that way too. Okay? Definitely. But then again, it's all up in the air, and it's like nothing happened, and it's like I'm still single, you're still single, or nothing happened. It's just freedom elements. Okay? So this one, what perhaps you just needed to kind of know is that I needed to deceive you. Okay, I needed to deceive you, or I kind of like wanted to deceive you, and I acted like I needed to be somewhere else, and I needed to work on something else, but I was like passionately doing that other stuff, but I was passionate because of you. So it's like I just transmuted the passion on another thing. Okay, so this one I just want to dig a hole and just go in it, okay? Like, it's that kind of flow, perhaps, this one. The mood was they were they wanted disruption, perhaps. When you turn me on, and I don't want you to turn me on, what do? You just focus on something else, right? That's what the person did. That's what was happening to your person at that time. How I was feeling, I was observing like shit, though. It's like I was targeting you like shit, though, okay? Like with crocodile, this is definitely very like, it has a stare. If you look at this, it's more like, I want you, I'll get you, no problem. It's that kind of flow. But all eyes on me too. So there are people observing us. It could be that way. It's like people were observing us, or I was looking at you, but people were looking at me, looking at you too. It's that kind. When I walk in the club, all eyes on us. All eyes on, when we walk in the club, perhaps it's that song. It's either Big Banana song. Big banana, oh na na na. That kind. It's the background music where it's like escalating. You know, it's escalating, and the turn on element is there. It's like it's escalating with that. But I'm looked at also, though. It's like I have to kind of be careful of how I'm kind of like acting with you, because people are looking at me, or at least that's what I was feeling. Perhaps that's what they were feeling. So they felt watched, and they were looking at you, but they knew that people were seeing them looking at you, and they were aware of that. But you turned them on so much that they were kind of wishing to distract themselves with something else so that they can focus the turn on element they were feeling towards you towards that thing. Okay, so it's more like if I kind of like was interacting with you, or I looked at you, you turned me on somehow. I don't know what it was. Okay, so I'm kind of like aware that I'm turned on by you. So it's like I need to focus my energy somewhere else so that I can be passionately working on that thing instead of working on you. Okay, like instead of projecting this turn on element on you, I projected it elsewhere because I was being watched by people. Okay, or you were watching me, but other people were watching us. Okay, so I needed to somehow, I was anxious though. I was so anxious about this, like about this excitement. Okay, I was so anxious about this excitement that I kind of, I don't know where I put it. Okay, like I don't remember if I put them up. 3 of Wands, Knight of Swords, definitely. 7 of Swords, it's more like my challenge was to kind of like lie to your face that perhaps I was not turned on by you. I was anxious. Then in the middle, I was being very patient. Okay, like I was patient with myself, with you, and all that kind of stuff. And it's like in the near future, it's more an element of perhaps I did like you, I did fancy you, but then again, there was no equal give and take. You were like perhaps indifferent to the fact that I liked you, or I kind of wanted you, or I was turned on by you. And then it's like we each went on our own, you know, pathways. That kind. That was what happened with this person. Okay. So this is what happened to them at that time. Big banana. It's that song. I have it in my mind. I'm kind of like singing it in my headspace. It's like dancing. It's like that. All Eyes on Us. I don't know if it's several songs. I'm kind of like having chat like in my headspace. But it's like when we walk in the club, all eyes on us. Okay? All eyes on us. That kind. Okay? So could be in the club environment too. It could be that someone's watching me, or I'm with someone perhaps. It could be that way too. It could be several ways. As if like it's a man that's looking at you and his girlfriend is somewhere else. So it could be like a girl that's looking at you and the boyfriend or the girlfriend is somewhere else. Be it it's their girlfriend, it's their family that kind of likes you. Be it it's the brother or sister that has a crush on you. Could be that way too. I mean, it's that I know that a family member of mine has a big crush on you and I get turned on by you, but then again, what's the point? You know, it's like I should hide this. It could be that way. It could be like it's many variables. Okay, we can be very creative here. I went with family members. It could be like this is child play only. It's like we're all single, or we kind of like nothing is still official here, but you turn me on like that. Okay, it could be like high mighty society like that, as if like it's popular celebrity or something. As it could be a simple person in real life, but you turned this person on, okay? And the person was just trying to hide it, okay? They were trying to find disruption. They wanted to kind of disrupt this element of perhaps I was receptive to you somehow. It's like if I'm turned on like this, it means that there's something. It's either it could be external to you also, as if like you didn't do this. I was just turned on with another girl, and what was happening to me, which was I was acting a bit weird because I was turned on by a person that kind of destabilized me. So I was just kind of seeking for disruption. So it could be that you're not the main source of my turn on, okay? It could be another girl that turned me on so badly, she teased me or something, and it's like you're the second girl, and it's like I just need to kind of like prove to some other people that it's like I have a good control. You know, I can control myself properly here. The scenarios can differ, all of it. It's just the concept of the idea that I might be turned on by you big time, as I might be turned on by another person big time. And I'm kind of like supposed to kind of talk with you, but this one, it's not that flow. Oh my God, I'm trying to give you another scenario just to be creative here, but it's not. It could, if you find a way with the crocodile, because I'm like looking at the crocodile. The crocodile looked at you, okay? The crocodile has a stalker vibe of it, okay? Or it's like more target wise, okay? It's like it's sly and it's like hidden. It kind of hides in the water, so you kind of don't see it that much, okay? So how I was feeling, I was trying to hide something. Could be hidden from you, from your impact, as it could be hidden from somebody else. So yeah, it works also. Somebody did something to me. I have a boner, I'm wet perhaps, and it's like I'm trying to find distraction so that I will not let this person get their way, okay? I will not let you get your way here, okay? It's that kind of flow, perhaps, okay? It could be that way. I'm trying to deceive you. My challenge here is to deceive you that you're not turning me on. Because I'm being watched, though. Funny like that, okay? So it's either I think that people watch me, or I think people were watching us. And I got anxious with that. Okay? That's it, pile 5. Okay? Like, I hope it resonated. I don't know. Could give you an ego boost, this one. Okay? Have a good day. Now, pile 6, whoever chose Dancing in the Dark, welcome to your reading. I hope you're all safe and healthy in this time. So, let us see. I'm sorry, guys. It's just that it's like I'm so distracted today. It's not like normal. So what was happening to your person at that time, okay? Like connected to you. We're gonna go this way, okay? Because everything is connected to you. We're gonna go this way, okay? So you have a question mark here. And regarding the situation that happened with this person. This person could be definitely a foreigner, a stranger, you don't know, it's an acquaintance. It's not a friend that much, okay? It's more, could be a friend as it doesn't say, but we're going more like customer or like people that pass by you, or it's like a neighbor, or it's like the visitor of a neighbor kind of concept. Or it could be this person, which you have no, not that much, okay? Like, we'll see. So what was happening to this person at that time? So we're gonna witness your person's energy, like what type of person this is, their personality. With the mentor, your person thinks that they're higher or mightier than other people. They have that complex a bit, okay? So they like to be more like a teacher, a person that kind of leads people. With the owl, it could be that I do have those abilities, okay? But perhaps I've learned to take that position, okay? That bossy, but it's not, okay, could be bossy too, based on how you see your person. Could be bossy, could be leader position, it could be in the form of superiority complex a bit, or the fact that I have wings, okay? So I allow myself a certain freedom to see things from a higher perspective, okay? So I allow myself those imaginations, or I allow myself to visualize. Perhaps I do have the abilities. If I don't do ego tripping that much, you'll know. But it's more a question of how you're perceiving. So that's why we're saying more witnessing eye. Mentor. For some, I am very intuitive. For some, I know how to detect lies. Okay, I know how when people lie. For some, I'm very free-spirited, for sure, but I impose certain stuff as I don't need to. And overall, I'm more passionate by nature. I like to stargaze, okay? Or I kind of like to, I'm more interested in stars as I could be interested in astrology. Okay, horoscope signs and all that kind of stuff. I might be an astrologer. I might be a tarot reader for some. I could be a trainer. I could be like a motivational speaker. Could be those things, okay? So my mood at that time, okay? My mood is anger with caution. I was triggered, this one. My mood was, I was triggered. One more. Sweetness. I was triggered by your sweetness. Okay, one more and one last one, and that's it. Rejection. It's either I wanted to reject you big time, be it I was triggered by your rejection big time, or I was triggered by you acting sweet and you turned me off, perhaps. I don't know what was happening to them at that time. There were mixed feelings a bit, okay? I don't know. How was I the lamb in reverse? Here, perhaps I was naive but I judged you to be a specific way. It could be that way. It could be that flow. Bat spirit. Bat and owl are nocturnal animals, okay? And when I go nocturnal, the moon is very emphasized here, okay? Because bats, under a full moon, there's a specific type of flower that blooms, okay? Not everywhere, but there are certain places where a specific rare type of cactus flower blooms, and bats kind of cannot resist the sweet scent of those flowers, okay? So it's a bit that flow I kind of channeled. With the mentor, it's more the owl. The owl hunts during the night, and the owl has a more medicinal way. It kind of heals, perhaps. Can go more like healer vibes too. Definitely healer vibes, but it's not the only thing. So you have divine feminine. I don't know how to read this. This is the second pile. I just don't know how to read, perhaps. And you have consciousness, Gaia. I was angry, but what type of relationship? Oh my god, no, like, we're not. Okay, this one, it's up in the air. Okay, so what was happening to your person? The relationship was up in the air. Either I was giving you a tarot reading. Okay, it could be that way. Could be that way. But could be that way, as it could be one, like, in a physical way. It could be, this is divine feminine. Feminine by nature, it's the moon. It's all subtle. It's like all invasive kind of thing. And the mood I was in, okay, like the vibe I was in with you, it's consciousness and Gaia. But I was triggered though here. This one, I was triggered with the sweetness. And I was like feeling like a lamb here. I was feeling like I was the lamb here. Internally. But on a physical level, I was more conscious. I was more conscious. Okay, like I was like I'm not allowing my eyes to see. Okay, like I'm more allowing my intuition to see here. Okay, so what was happening? I was more in a, I was doing some divination work, or I was kind of tapping into my emotions. Tapping into my emotions, but tapping into my intuition. It's different, okay? It's more like I was tapping into my intuition. What was happening to me is that I was tapping into my intuition. But deep down, how I was feeling, I was more having faith. It's like that. It's like with the lamb, it's more like how I was feeling. It was more like deep down, I was innocent. I was more pure and, you know, like kind-hearted and nice and good, feeling good. But then on a physical level, or it's like sometimes, you know, it's you feel good, it's a good day for you, could be that way, it's a good day for me. But when I'm interacting with you, I'm not judging with what I'm seeing, I'm judging with what I'm kind of like feeling inside, like what my gut feeling is saying here, this one, you know, it's like that. Now, the mood I went in though with you is that I needed to be careful here. Okay, like I need to be careful with you. So it could be that my gut feeling is telling me to be careful. Instinctually, I needed to be careful with you. Okay? And I was starting to get triggered by your sweetness, your seduction, because the overall relationship with you is more seductive. It's more feminine, it's more nurturing, it's more entertaining perhaps, because feminine energy is more dancing, cooking, decorating, flowers, and, you know, like loving and hugging and bathing. You know, it's that flow. It's more taking care of someone, or, you know, making everything beautiful, having an ambience of beauty, invading the space with a specific, like, charming, joyful, seductive, light, tender kind of thing. It's like that. Okay, the relationship I have with you is that you're invading perhaps my space with beauty, love, sweetness. Okay, it could be that way. You are very sweet, perhaps, this one. But I was following my intuition, my gut feeling that cannot be this true, that kind. It's that flow I was in, perhaps. Or there was a lot. But I was conscious. Okay, like I sensed it. It's not that it's not good. Okay, it's not that it's not good. It's just perhaps it triggered this one. So this one might not be familiar with feminine energy that much. Okay? Was more masculine. So what was happening to me? You have the Eight of Pentacles. I was working hard on something. My challenge was my intuition. My intuition was saying something. It's either I was listening to my intuition too much, and the challenge was to kind of just follow it, you know, it's just follow it or not follow it, or I can't say not follow it, like follow it, this one. The reason why it's that with the Five of Wands, there's a confliction down here. There's something that I don't know, perhaps I don't know everything about you. And you have the Empress card. I don't know if I was jealous here. It can't, no. It's not a question of jealousy here. I was triggered by your seductiveness. We're used to seeing my boyfriend, we're used to seeing my wife, perhaps. That kind. It could be that way. I was getting triggered by your fakeness, though. Or the fact that you were like flirting with my person. It could be that way, this way. If there's a third party, then I'll say yes. But if there's no third party, then something about... what was it that triggered me here? You have the Three of Wands. You have the Four of Pentacles with the Knight of Wands energy, and in the near future you have the Three of Cups. What was my gut feeling telling me? One second. What was my gut feeling telling me? About you, though. This one, it needs to be about you. What was, like, my gut feeling telling me? Okay. Perhaps this could be the other way around, okay? It's because this flow, it's good, okay? It's like I'm a good person, okay? Like I was feeling good that day, okay? But when it came to you, okay, you perhaps did trigger me, okay? In what way did you trigger me is because perhaps I have a like abandonment issue. Perhaps I might have an abandonment issue, okay, which is true. For me in the past, I used to have abandonment issue. Perhaps I still have, okay, I need to deal that within myself, okay? But this one, I got triggered at myself, perhaps, this one. Okay, it could be that perhaps I was angry with myself for being extra cautious when you were being sweet to me. Okay? Could be that way. It happened. In the past, I used to do this a lot, okay? Like, with guys that used to flirt with me, I used to do this a lot, okay? Like, and then I would kind of, like, say why nobody wanted me, you know? But then again, whenever they offered certain stuff to me, I didn't take it. That kind, okay? So we're just gonna kind of, like, say that here and kind of say that perhaps I was triggered by myself here, that I didn't follow my intuition. That way, it could be that way. It's just I was not following 100% my intuition because I was being guarded here, and I should just have followed my intuition. Okay, so that way. But the reason why it was this way was because I was conflicted. Okay, so I was a bit conflicted about my self-esteem. Okay, we're gonna keep that way. And you were shining bright, okay? Like, you were shining bright. You can definitely love me, something of the sort. But I did not allow myself to kind of release, perhaps. It could be that way. Or I did not allow myself to kind of, like, follow my intuition here. I kept it secret. Or I kept it hidden. Or I can't go a different way. I don't know if I want to upload this. Okay, let's just finish it. I need to finish this. Okay, guys, it's just, it's so embarrassing because oh. So in the past, connected to the hard work I felt. It's like I was working hard, okay? Like connected to you, what was happening? I needed to work hard. I was working, I was in patrol, I was supervising, whatever I was doing. And it's work, perhaps. What was happening is that I was working with you. I got triggered that I was being seduced by you. That's what's happening. I was working, so I got triggered of the fact that I was starting to kind of get attracted to you. And I was conscious, and I know that you were attractive or something of the sort. But then again, I got angry at myself. So what was happening to me? I was getting angry at myself that I was catching feelings for you, but I'm working though. I have a strong work ethic, perhaps this one. Okay, like I want to do good, and I'm kind of following my gut feeling. But then again, in the initial, it's more like I kind of like was focusing on the work. I was holding on to the work, but then again, I was starting to catch feelings. So at the end, it's more like I kind of woke up to the fact that there was a third party here. So I kind of like perhaps asked you if you were single at the end. And then you told me that you were taken. Okay, so it could be that flow, this one. Okay, I think that's the flow overall, because what was happening to me is that I was working. I was focused on working. Okay, so whenever it's work, perhaps I don't like to kind of not work this one. So I'm not the type of person that likes to kind of socialize, or it's like I'm not the type of person that flirts whenever there's a work to be done. Okay, like I'm not I get triggered perhaps when I do that, or I get triggered when people do that. So it's like when I'm kind of like gonna do that, it's more like I get angry at myself. This one could be that way. Okay, so this one, what was happening to them is that they were not gonna flirt with you, they were gonna work. Okay, so they got triggered by themselves catching feelings for you. Okay, so they kind of like, and then they realized that perhaps you were not single, so it's like that's what happened. Okay, so it's more that flow. Okay, so this is what was happening to me. Or I kind of realized that you were the party loving type of person, and that you were not really interested in somebody like me. Okay, so it's that flow they went in. You have this and this, that's good. And it's up in the air. The relationship was more just seductive, or you were very feminine perhaps, and I kind of liked that, but I got triggered by myself that I liked it. Okay, so I should not like you, kind of thing. Okay, so this is what happened to your person. Okay, so I hope this resonated. I hope it gave you the insight that you seeked. It was not necessarily a smooth ride. It was bumpy here and there. Okay, I had to take some breaks, and I think I'm still gonna upload this regardless of how clumsy it seems or how unprofessional it is. But then again, I feel like it could be quite useful to some people out there. Perhaps the fact that it was not a smooth ride kind of gives you some insight like that. Okay, so take what resonates, discard the rest, and I'll see you in my next videos. Okay, so bye bye guys, bye.